Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Ristar. This is round 3, Planet Scorch. And it is quite obviously the fire planet, as noted by its name and how fiery everything looks. Well, it's not really fiery yet, but you can see it in the background. It looks like a pretty hot place. So there's this cage here with this trigger underneath it. There are numerous things you can do. What I like to do, just jump over him. You know, it's really no problem really that way. Watch out for this bird here, he's really annoying. He likes to do that, and it's pretty hard to avoid when he does, so. Now, what's interesting here is you can actually take this upper path and avoid this whole scenario down here that we're going to get into, but I'll take the lower path because it's cooler. So the lava's going to start rising, and so you'll need to hang on to these little ladders that are conveniently placed on the ceiling until the fire goes back down. Then just make your way back across. Once you get to the end, the fire will go away for whatever reason. But that's kind of a, as I said, you can, if you want, you can just take the top path and bypass that whole thing. So we're going to be using this lever here in order to get to our next bonus area, which is right there. That one can be a little tricky to get to. You might find yourself bouncing up against the, the bottom of those pipes that were hanging in the air there. This one is, it's a little bit trickier. As I said, it gets a little more difficult as you go on. You don't really have to worry about the spikes too much, mostly because you don't have, like, any health bar in here. It's unlimited. But every time you take damage, your timer will drop a few seconds off of it. So, you don't want to hit them too much, but you still got plenty of time. I guess the fire sword is kind of appropriate for this world. I guess there's one that's appropriate somewhere in the game. Oh, alright. Now this guy, he seems like he's shooting off two. There we go, we can just jump over after the second. Get a health star even though we don't need it. And now, we have a fun little swinging sequence. If you step on that little trigger that was over there, then lava will actually start rising at this point, and you'll kind of have to beat it up here, rather. Beat it up, yeah, you're gonna go down there and fight the lava. No, you just have to beat it to the top, pretty much. So, there's sort of an interesting thing, if you... Let's see, let me get back up here. If you drop down to the left, you can use this little lever here, if you don't fall in the fire. I'm going backwards now. There we are. And there's an extra life at the end of this. You're also invincible while doing that shooting star thing. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but, you can hit the fire that way and you won't take damage. So here's the mini-boss of 3-1, and let me tell you, this thing is a pain. It's sort of like a memorization Simon Says type of thing. The first one's really easy because they're numbered and they stay on screen and are really slow. So just take them out 1, 2, 3, 4. The next one they'll be numbered, but they won't stay on screen and they'll be a little bit faster. Alright, that's pretty easy. Well, yeah, you're prone to sometimes just run into them like that. Like, I'm almost killing myself just by running into them. Alright, I'm gonna be kind of quiet on this next one so I can concentrate. Oh, well good, that's like the easiest pattern you can get. Like, sometimes it'll go all over the place, and it can be a little bit difficult to remember. Alright, so we're at the end of 3-1 now. Let's use our lever. And get 500 points. Oh, well, whatever. I guess nothing can live up to those dual 20,000s I got in the very first world. So the next area is the Under Factory. I guess it's supposed to be like Underground Factory, but they ran out of room or something. So this is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. There's numerous paths you can take, and there's a lot of things that like to damage you pretty cheaply. Like this guy right here. Whew, there you go. You pretty much have to hit him whenever he's not shooting fire. Because even if he shoots fire at the top, half the time you'll still get damage if you grab him from the bottom. So just keep that in mind, I guess. The bonus lever is pretty cleverly hidden up there in the top left. You really have to shoot just straight up in order to get to it. So the 3-2 bonus area is actually a lot simpler than 3-1. It looks like it would be a lot harder because of there's just this huge pit of spikes at the bottom. But you can use the fact that you're invincible from the shooting star pretty heavily here. Just run into the spikes right out of the gate. It's a good idea. And the other thing is you're actually invincible for like a second after you get out of the shooting star. Like, you can walk on it for a little bit before you take damage. So, it's really not that difficult, and that's kind of a fun little thing to do. Jump over into the spikes after you grab it. But, as I said, that's not really that hard to do at all. Alright, so I like to take this path here. That's another one of those stupid guys, just ignore him. We can drop down, go across, and climb up here. Now there's going to be a guy down here who's going to like try to press a switch to blow up part of the level. Let's take him out. There we are. If you let him press that, then like various holes will be blown out of the floor, and you'll have to jump across. It's not really that much of a problem, it's just a minor inconvenience. And I think that chest only had a health star, so I didn't feel like going for it. Now there's kind of a fast way to get through this. Jump through this little first platform and then jump down here. If you land on that just right, you can actually stand on it and then just jump to the next one, and you won't have to worry about dealing with that. I kind of screwed it up a little bit though, but that's to be expected. Alright, now here is a very hard swing. Let's see if we can... Yeah, well, that's close enough. I got us through it. Oh, man. It's really hard to tell when that blue fire is going to come out. Okay, oh, actually I need to be going up here. So, I mean, as I said, it starts to get like a little bit of a maze around here. Let's take out this guy. Oh, man. Whew. Alright, that's that's a little difficult. Alright, so now we're going to have another one of those switch dudes. We actually need to let this guy press his, because this will open up the way to get to the end of the level. I think you have to let him press his switch in order to finish the level. So let's swing our way up here. Ugh. Stupid ceiling at the top, man. That's kind of annoying. But now we're going into our boss arena, which is Hahn Fall. And that's pretty appropriately named. This is kind of a cool boss. It's actually one of my favorites. He's kind of annoying here at the start. Drops these rocks on you that can be hard to avoid, you know, because you can't see them at all. But they give you that free health recovery at the beginning, so you can be at 4 stars whenever you start the battle. So he's going to do one of two things when he comes out. He's either going to float up there like this, in which you can be a little stylish and grab that claw if you want. It's a little bit difficult to do, though. Let's see if I can get him to do his other thing here. Yeah, the other thing he'll do is jump down on the ground like that, which is obviously much easier to deal with. After you hit him twice, he's going to go into this little section here where he falls, and you're going to have to try to grab him. It's a little bit tricky to do, but there you go. I like to just stay on one side and then just try to grab him as soon as he starts moving, pretty much. That's really all I can tell you to do there. Then we're going to have basically another repeat. Hit him 2 times, hit him once as he falls, and then the boss is going to be finished. Also, if you miss him on the way down, you may be able to get lucky and grab him on the way back up. He might come down, Oh man, I almost got him there. Alright, there we go. That finishes this guy off. It's very easy to get hit in the falling stage, so just make sure you stay like as far to one side as possible when you try to grab him. And when he falls down here, he'll do these little mini shockwaves that don't damage you. It's quite adorable, I've got to say. But let's just bonk this guy one more time. He apologizes profusely, and I guess we accept his apology, rather, because we're going to shoot out of here now. So that's the end of Planet Scorch. Now this next planet is where things start to get a lot more interesting. It's kind of a unique planet too. I mean, we'll talk about that when we get there. But that's Scorch clear. We didn't get quite as many of those bonus points at the end, so this time it's going to say, excellent! You get something different, like based on how many of the round total bonus or whatever that you get. And unbelievable is the highest one. But anyway, in the next part we're going to head down to our next planet. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.